Hello, good evening, and welcome. Unless, of course, you're not watching this in the evening. Yeah. I gotta come up with a better intro, I think. That intro is from Monty Python and the Meaning of Life. The part in the middle of the movie where he says, "Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film." But yeah, I don't know. That's not really gonna be a thing, because some people might listen to this in the morning or watch this in the morning. And then I also thought about Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's that line he has, "Tonight, my unconventional conventionists." I always thought that was cool, but it doesn't really apply to somebody watching a YouTube channel. So I'm just going to play around with it, try to figure out something to say at the start of every show. But anyways, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this link and watching me draw this. Now, I'm drawing a Formian. That's the drawing today. It's a more modern D&D creation. Not my favorite D&D monster, but I just thought I'd just do something I wouldn't normally do for this one. So there's a lot of options, so I thought I'd do something interesting with it. So Formians are members of a race of ant people who live on the planes of, like the lawful planes, rather than the chaotic planes, which is kind of interesting when you think about it. That in D&D there are different planes of existence. There are the chaotic planes, the lawful planes, the good planes, and the evil planes, and all that good stuff. And different creatures come from each one. So, there you go. So, like I said, Formians are like these ant people who come from the lawful planes. And, one thing that kind of disappoints me about Formians, well, just them as like ant creatures, why would you have a bug creature if you're not going to have them have 4 arms? So, for my drawing of a Formian, I decided to give it the Formians in the rule book are basically like centaurs, centaurs? Yeah. So, I'm also like flipping through this trying to find the description. So I decided its middle limbs could double as both legs and arms. Thought that was a neat idea that I would just experiment with. You can see I added an extra leg in there, but my rule is no erasing. So this one doesn't turn out as well as I'd like, but I don't know. I think it was an interesting experiment, and it was fun. Also, about halfway when I drew that halberd for the first time, I was like, "Oh, he'll have a halberd." And then I thought to myself, "Well, ants are like super strong, right? So let's give him a big old strength weapon, Dark Souls, strength build weapon." That a normal human being wouldn't be able to hold since he's an ant. So he's got that huge tower shield and this huge just hunk of metal that he can just wield easily because he's an Ant-Man. Not that Ant-Man. Just an Ant-Man. Say that 5 times fast. No, I won't. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just a fun experiment. Playing around with stuff. Let's see what the good book has to say about Formians. Formians hail from the plains devoted to mess this up. Formians hail from the plains devoted to law. They seek to colonize all they see and incorporate all living things into their hive as workers. Expansionists in the extreme, their goal is to spread colonies until they have taken over everything and their order is unquestioned. To further this end, they attack all other creatures, usually to put them to work building and expanding cities. Formians maintain these conscripted workers, as well as those mentally dominated by the power of their taskmasters. A Formian resembles a cross between an ant and a centaur. A santar, yep. All Formians are covered with a brownish-red carapace, and their size and appearance varies by type. And of course, there's different types. There's workers and warriors and taskmasters, and they have different abilities. Looks like workers have the ability to heal and repair things. Warriors have a poison sting, and then taskmasters have psychic abilities and can dominate people. And then you also have the Mermark, who are able to poison and have spell-like abilities. And then the Queen. What can the Queen do? Queen's got some. Queen's got the ability to cast spells, and then a series of spell-like abilities, like a lot of psychic abilities, basically, and telepathy and all that. So those are things that would be befitting of a queen, I guess. Yeah. So, I realize in these videos, I'm recording them all kind of at once, and just as I have free time, running to the back room and recording the audio after I've edited the video together. I haven't really talked about my method for coloring on these, and it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I just scribble out the drawing, and then I scribble out the drawing, and then I take the color and just color over the top of it. I make sure when I'm drawing like this, I have the opacity turned down to about 45%. And that will vary depending on what I'm drawing or what I'm trying to do, but for the most part it stays around 45%, and then I basically just color over the top of the scribble drawing, and then go back over the top of that with a little black for outlines and white for highlights. It really, I think it, this is the first time I've done stuff like this, that using this method of coloring. This is the first time I'm doing it, and I think it looks really good. For the most part. I mean, these are real quick drawings that I threw together just to kind of give myself something to do, get some content on this YouTube channel. So just try to keep it coming. It kind of reminds me, I've been hooked on this YouTube channel called AntsCanada, and I don't know why it's called AntsCanada. I don't think the guy is from Canada. Huh. Anyways, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's called AntsCanada, and this guy just has like ant terrariums and turns it into a reality TV show, like almost like a Meerkat Manor or something like that, or Big Brother with ants or something. And it seems like every week there's some new dilemma that he's making a big deal out of. It's like, stay tuned to find out how the ants handled this fungus, or whatever. Or you're going to see something so shocking in this episode. stick around, you know, and he's really good at what he does, and there's a reason why he has so many followers. Unlike me. How you doing? How you doing, one person listening to me right now? So, yeah, it's really fascinating just watching him just solve these problems. Because, like, one of the things that ant keepers have to deal with is, like, that wild ants, like just normal ants, will come into your house, and ants don't like each other. So, just normal ant will come into your house and like, it's like, hey, there's a colony over here, let's go kill them all. And suddenly you have like this parade of ants going in and killing this, you know, rare species of ant that he's been cultivating and gave a new home to. And it's kind of sad when he like digs and tries to find these ants, and it turns out they all died off because some other ants came in and just destroyed their colony. So yeah, this halberd is just chunky, and he's got that tower shield that looks like some kind of it's like the carapace of some underground beetle or something. Maybe like a pill bug or something, or potato bug, whatever you call those. Roly-polies. And that could work. That could maybe that shield can even like fold up or something. Just like maybe I'm making a new Dungeons and Dragons monster. Just a giant pill bug, a dire pill bug, if you will. A dire roly-poly. Oh man, it's so cold back here. I got 2 heaters pointed at me right now, and normally I would at least turn one of them off, the louder one off, but I just don't care about the audio right now. It's just too cold to care. But yeah, this is, like I said, Formians aren't my like cup of tea. I really don't appreciate their taking people as slaves and stuff like that. And I also think it's kind of lame that they're insect men, but they don't have 4 arms like the trikene. I don't know. I think it's I think it's trikene. They're like mantises that have 4 arms, and you could actually play as one of them in the Dark Sun campaign setting. Are really cool. Unlike Formians, who are kind of jerks, but hey, the best monsters are the ones that you actually want to kill, right? You actually want to take down a Formian hive, because those guys are jerks. Taking people hostage, dominating them with their psychic powers. Or magical powers, I'm not exactly sure which. It's a spell-like ability. But, this is, I don't know, it turned out really good. I like when I went in and added the highlights, it really started looking like a bug man. And I like that. It was a fun experiment, and I'll have to draw things that I don't really want to draw in the future, just to see how they turn out. But yeah, I had some fun with it. I got to give him that big ass thing, because that big ass halberd blunt hammer thing. I don't know what you would call that. Like I said, it's like a Dark Souls strength build weapon, the kind of thing. I wouldn't bother with, because I'm a dex build kind of guy, and I know a lot of people are gonna get on me about that, but I don't care. The heaviest thing I would use is like a great sword or something. But we're gonna switch over to the just the finished product. And you can take a look at how great it turned out. That looks really nice. You can see, I have some mistakes in there and stuff, like an extra leg, but they don't really stand out as much, and that's the rules. So remember to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you are enjoying this series. I hope we can. I hope you can stick around and see some of the other cool stuff I got planned. So yeah, peace.